So definitely databases will always have more than one tables. You will hardly ever, I think, in your life work with a table in a database, right? When tables coexist in a database, they may or may not have relationships. We saw that a particular table of job listings was a standalone table, but there were three other tables that were related to each other. The relationship in tables is enforced by using foreign keys, right? So a foreign key is a constraint, is a rule which says that this field from this table should draw its value from another table. And usually the other table from which values are being drawn, that column will usually be the primary key. Not necessarily, but usually will be the primary key, right? So, and InnoDB enforces this rule, and therefore you will ensure that whenever you are writing scripts in a job environment, also not only on your laptops there, I think it's InnoDB by default, you will have that set default storage engine set to InnoDB in your code. Okay, so we did a few things, we did a few examples, 5 or 6 or 3, I can't remember the other day. Now we will go forward and we will start answering again using joins and subqueries. So I'll do both of them together. I'll kind of do them together so that I can give you your assignment and you can start doing the assignment because you're seeing both things. But it will take some time to finish off these joins, and by that time then I'll tell you that now you can submit your assignment, but you will definitely have a week for your assignment, so rest assured. I can give you a due date, depends upon how much I can do in class. Now the other day, because now I should actually pick it up from that other jobs, right? Because we made a change to that table, if you remember. Mohammed said it would be nice to have the enumerated data type, and of course, I think that's the only change we made. So I'll take this and I'll put it here. I think this is a change we made. We changed it from character 1 to enumerated. I don't remember doing any other change in that class. So it is this, oops, spelling is wrong. Oops. Please see that you change the spelling. I have an unsigned spelling that is wrong. That's right. That's right. That's right. Okay, so it's the same tables that we were using last week. So nothing new for you in the sense of, oh, do I have to understand the tables again? And again, before we start, remember I said, please ensure that you have, so we'll run this script once. I'll save it and then run it once. And once I run it, okay, the same error that I was getting because of that database that can't remove for whatever reason. Maybe it's corrupted. That hard disk at that place is corrupted. So I'll call it maybe jobs 2 again. It will run for you hopefully, but wherever my database is existing, I think that sector is corrupted. So if something is corrupted, it can delete it. Oh, you have a syntax error somewhere. Oh, 2 create table commands, copying and pasting. Not my day today, right? Okay, there we are. Okay, so just run the script once. If you find any error, I think I found a spelling mistake of unsigned in my code, so maybe you have it too. Just see that you do it. And then the other thing I changed was from last week. We had changed it last week. I just copied. We changed this to enumerated from character, right? Which makes more sense. So once you run it and your database is ready, please ensure that you create your ERD. So ERD is entity relationship diagram. Pick up the database you just created. 4 objects, we know that. We'll execute it and we'll finish it off. I've already explained what all these relationships and all these signs mean. I have used the classic. I don't think I've used the classic. I've used the one that shows which field is related to which table. Keys look like keys. The yellow is the primary key. The red is a primary and a foreign key. The table that is not related to anything stands alone. The diamonds, blue, are not null fields. The white diamonds are null fields. And indexes are created on every table. By default, an index is created on the primary key for every table, right? An index is like a sorted order. It's it helps you to find records in your table using an index, and it creates an index like an index of a book. It says, okay, this record is at this location, this record is at this location. So it makes searches quicker. Okay. You can create an index if you like, though it's not in your course. I don't think so, but you can create an index by using the create index command. And you can create index on any fields you like. If you think there is another field on which you will do a lot of searches, it's always better to create an index, because indexes make searches quicker. Obviously, right? If I tell you to search something in a dictionary, you know that if I'm looking for a word excellent, it will be under E. You won't start scanning it from the degree. So that's why indexes help. So one-to-many relationship is being shown here. What it says is one contact ID, though it's not in my data, but it says that one contact ID can have many job desired and can have many job currents. So this is a place where I don't like to use Workbench, because it's only looking at my table structure and saying, oh, that's the relationship. It's not looking at my data to say that there is not a one-to-many relationship. There is a one-to-one relationship between my tables. But it doesn't look at data. When it creates an ERD, or when the developers create an ERD, all they are saying is, this is the primary key, these are the fields, these are the foreign keys. So this relationship is not true for our data. We are saying that every contact ID only has one job desired. That's what we've done. And every contact ID has one job current. Why? Because those fields are primary fields in the other table, right? So I can't do much about it. But anyway, if I wanted to, I could change the structure of my table. I could change the primary key of my table and so on, and change it. But because my contact ID is referring values from the other table, I have to kind of stick to this. Though, if I try it, think about it, it's a primary key of the table. Okay, I can do it, but I won't, because it will take more time. So I'll leave it at that. So let's start now answering questions. So it says answers the queries now, and you will notice that in each query, I have joins and I have subquery. So I'll do them in parallel. So that you can compare them as you write them. Sometimes it may not be possible to write a subquery, which is okay. And sometimes you may not be able to answer something in a join, which is okay. But hopefully I'll be able to do all of them with you. I can't remember if there was any that I couldn't do, but we'll try to do everything together. Okay, so let's look at the question. It says, select the first name. And again, remember, we could have done joins in many ways. Last time, if you remember, I could use the word inner join. I could use comma. I could use natural join. I could use using, and outer joins, right outer join. So there are a lot of options. I'll try my best, because you're learning. I'll try my best to show you all possible ways of answering a query. So sometimes under joins, we may have 5 different solutions. Okay, so bear with me. It will take time, and it will take effort and energy also, because you're putting your brains to it. Okay, so it says select the name. That's not a difficult job to do. Concatenate the first and the last name, and I have the names of the fields, so we don't have to keep looking back. So it was the first name is called first name, the last name is called last name, and the phone number of all those contacts who are interested in a computer programmer job. So now you have to think, which table am I interested in? The last name and the first name are coming from my contacts, right? People who are interested in a computer programmer job, this information is coming from job desired table, right? And are ready to accept a salary of 95K or more. So to answer a query, I would highly recommend, since you are new to it, I would highly recommend you go to the EIR diagram and look at it. So the name is coming from here. So definitely this is one of my joining tables, right? What are you interested in, and what salary are you okay to take? 95,000 or more, at least 95,000. That means that's your low. So these are the 2 tables that need to be joined. Okay, what can they be joined on? They can be joined on the contact ID, because contact ID is a foreign key in one table and is the primary key in the other table. Okay, so now let's look and try to write the answer. Okay, so go back. So it will, as I said, it's just tedious. So let's select. It says concatenate the first and the last name, and as soon as we concatenate, we always give it a better name. So let's use the concat function, right? I want to take the first name. The first name is called first name. We'll put a blank in between because otherwise it will look very odd. And then we'll take the last name. And there was another one, concat WS with blank, with space, right? A couple of you used it in one of your assignments. So if you don't want to put this blank here, I think it was called concat WS with space. Do you want to try it? I can't remember if it was an underscore WS or WS only. Okay, so it was not a, there it is. So in that case, you don't have to give this blank. It concatenates the two fields and puts a blank in between. So if that's all you want, that's all I want. The first name, a blank, and a last name. Instead of using the concat function, you can say concat with space, right? So saves me just typing some blank in between. Okay, and definitely I don't want to call it concat WS. I want to call it name. So let's give it a name. So any name, who are these guys? These are contacts. So we'll just give name. Even if I'm using a single field, I like to put it in quotes, especially if it is a reserved word. And the phone numbers. And the phone number field is phone for your information. Oops, not own, phone. And since I'm giving names, I'll just say phone number here also. It's neat. If you're giving a name to one column, just give it to all columns because then they look neater. Not a rule, just a preference. Now the two tables that you are interested in. You already kind of decided on this, that the two tables you are interested is in table my contacts. How come I'm not getting help? I've already run it once. And the second table that you are interested in is, and again, I'll give them alias names, remember, and short names so that I can use them in my conditions. Easy. You can use the word inner join, you can use comma, whatever you like. I've given you so many ways of doing it. And the second table we are interested is in the job desired table. Again, I'm going to give it an alias name. You can use as if you like. You may not use it, just to show you that both can be done. I'll call it JD for job desired. That way it's easy. My contacts for MC and job desired for JD. No rule again. You can call it whatever you like. Now a few conditions. Yes.
The second line where it says from table by contact, does it need as MC?
Both will do. As will also do. Without as will also do. Both will do. As here also. As will do. You may do it without as. Both options are available. If you're lazy like me, you don't even want to type as, don't do it. Okay? Right. Now, the where conditions. Now, just to again reinforce, please do not forget the joining conditions of the two tables. If you forget it, you will never get the right answer. So what I do is, just in the beginning, when I'm teaching in the beginning for the first, say, class or so, I use the word on so that I'm trying to tell you this is the joining condition. You can put a where and it will work. There is no problem. On is necessary in outer joins. Here you can put where and it will work. But if you put on, you'll kind of keep in your head, oh, I have to write the joining condition. Right? So what is your joining condition? Your joining condition is something from here should be equal to something from here. Now, what is that something? The contact ID. So this is your joining condition. If you forget this for any reason, you're doomed. Your answer will always be wrong because it just does a Cartesian product. So though I don't have to put on with inner join, I can just add it in my where, whatever. I'll try to do an on so that I'm bringing your attention to this important fact that you cannot miss the joining condition. So how are you joining the tables? You're saying if the contact ID here is equal to the contact ID here, join the two records. That's the only way you can join. Look at your ERD. Is there anything else that you can join on? No. The common field, not that it is called contact ID, but the common field, and how do I know they're linked? Because I use this notation where it takes the field from here and joins it to the field here. So not by virtue of the same name, by virtue of that relationship that I have seen. If you're using another notation, maybe you can't see this relationship that contact ID is the same as contact ID here. So just in the beginning, I'll try to do an on so that you kind of say, oh, I should not forget it. Many people do, believe me. Now comes the where condition. It says these people are looking to be a computer programmer, and the field was called title for your information, and they are ready to accept a salary of 95,000 or less. So there was a low salary and there was a high salary. So they're okay with 95,000 or less. That's like kind of strange, isn't it? Why would somebody say, I'm ready to accept less than, let's look at the field. The field is salary low. So if the salary low is less than 95K, they're ready to accept the job. Okay, that's fine. Okay, now your where conditions. What are your where conditions? One, the title must be computer programmer. So, and we will learn now to always trim our varchar fields. Okay, and the name of the table is JD. The name of the field is title for your information. We'll do an exact match with computer programmer. That's not case sensitive, but of course you should write the right English. So I'm looking for computer programmer. And this person is ready to, whoever is ready to take the salary low is, he's ready to take 95,000 or less. Now, there is something that I want to tell you. If you want, you can qualify every field in your join, even if there is no ambiguity. There is definitely an ambiguity here, because there is a contact ID in the JD table and there is a contact ID in the other table. There is an ambiguity here. I have to qualify it. But if there is no ambiguity, for example, if there was no title, there is no the salary is only in one of the tables, then I don't have to qualify it. But some programmers like to qualify every field irrespective of whether they have the same name or not. If you want to take that route, sure, it's up to you. In that case, you will put an MC here, an MC here, an MC here, a JD here, and so on. It makes it clear to some people, and that's perfectly fine, right? They say, oh, this field is being drawn from this table, this from this table. So if you want to do it, it's not necessary, and there is no ambiguity here. This will run. But if you want to, you can say MC dot first name, because it's coming from the MC table. To some people, it's clear from which table, which field is coming, and that's perfectly fine. But it's not required. And this was the JD. So they will qualify every field, ambiguity or no ambiguity. You can follow this if you like. I leave it to you. It's up to you however you want to do it. Okay. So now if this runs, we must see anybody who's ready, who wants to be a computer programmer. There were two people who wanted to be computer programmers in the job desired table. I think one was 90 and the other was 120, if I'm not mistaken. So we should have an answer. Oh, they were both ready to take less than 95,000, is it? Job desired? Okay, they were. So try to change one of them and only one up will show up. They're both ready to go less than 95,000. One is saying 80 or lower and the other is saying 90 or lower. So the answer is correct. Now, of course, you can write it in different ways. So I'll kind of do it for a few, maybe for a couple of them, and then I'll just leave it alone. I'll do a control C. I'll use the word natural join. As soon as you use the word natural join, the on is not needed. That's, I don't know whether it's the beauty or whether it's the, whatever you would like to call it, because natural join automatically joins on same named fields for equality. So you can do this if you like. Right? Nothing like there's nothing wrong. You can do this if you like. Instead of the word inner join, use the comma. That's also possible. Right? Natural join doesn't need a joining condition, because by default, it is on same equality of the same field. So this is by default. This is default in a natural join. If you want to make a note for yourself, please do it. What is the default? Default is this. You don't even mention it. You don't mention it, you will get an error. This is the default. Same fields, names are same, and you're doing an equality. Only under that condition you don't need a joining condition. So you can use natural join if you like. So you can use inner join, you can use natural join, you can use the comma, and of course there was a using also if you wanted to do it. If you want to, you can try that too. It's not a, oh, why am I getting an error here? Oh, because you can't use on with the comma. So I'll have to do an and here. And I have to remove the, you can't use an on with the comma. So therefore you can stick to one if you like. Again, as I said, I'll do a few and then I'll leave it. And if you want to do the using, remember we had to use, oops, wrong one. Okay, so how do I do the using? The using will have to be done like this. Where is it now? Here. This is not the right one to copy then. This is the better one to copy. Less work. Remember using same as natural join. It's kind of like natural join, but it saves you from, you can say using. And again, the default is this. You can write it this way. I'm not sure if it works with the comma. Does using work with comma? Let me try. Do I have an error? Yeah, I have an error. Okay, so the word using needs the word inner join. Again, what does using do? Using does exactly what this does. This is what using does. So use the word inner join on where. Use a comma, you only have to use where. Use natural join, condition doesn't have to be given. Use using, you have to use inner join word, and using just the name of the field, it will automatically do what you're trying. It will take the two tables and it will pick up the field, contact ID from both tables, and will look for equality, right? So you can write it whatever way you want. So unless I ask you to write it a certain way, I don't care. And just for the heck of it, how will you do it using outer join? Think about it. I want people who want to be computer programmers are ready to take 95,000 or less, and I want their names and their phone numbers. So in a way you are saying, you are in this table, you are in my table job desired. I want to pick you up. You are a computer programmer. Yes, please go and look for your name and your phone number. So I can do a right join also, or a left, whatever. But which table will be my master table? Which is your smaller table? The job desired table. So because you're interested in people who are looking to be a computer programmer, why will you check all my contacts? You will check the job desired table, pick up the people who want to be computer programmers, and find their names and phone numbers from the other table. So your master table should be the job desired. So whether you write a right join or whether you write a left join really doesn't matter. What is important is that you should know what is my master table. So if you're writing it left, put it on the left. If you're writing it as a right join, put it on the right to be more efficient. Okay, so let's copy it again. So let's copy it again. Wrong copying again. So I'll copy the join again. Okay, and change it to an outer join. So job desired should be my master table because it is the smaller one and it is where I'm looking for who wants to be a computer programmer. So which kind of join do I need here? It's on the right. The table is on the right. So right outer join. Of course, you can shift these. You can switch them and use left outer join. But I'm sticking to right. I just copied it, right? Okay, so now let's look. The outer join always needs an on. The where condition is saying you want to be a computer programmer, and the subquery is saying that the page should be done. That's an answer again using a join. So what will it do? It will pick up a record from here. Do you want to be a computer programmer? And are you ready to take 95,000 or less? Yes. Go and look for the number and the name from the other table. So it's like a match from one table to the other table. So all of that, computer programmer will find a match. Yes. The second computer programmer will also find a match. Yes, right? What about the third guy who is not a computer programmer? What do you think will happen to him? He won't find a match, right? Let's see what happens. And if there is anything to be done, we will do it. Let me see if I can give you any more answers. Of course, you can do this using a left outer join also. And again, if you don't understand right outer joins and left outer joins, please do them in steps. And I'll show you how to do them in steps. Make it a left outer join. But in that case, this table goes on the, I mean, it doesn't have to go. It's just that I know that this is more efficient. And I know that this is my master table. This goes on the right. Here. So I've written the same thing. What have I missed? Okay, I've doubled it up. Here, I've doubled it up. Of course, I could have written it as a left outer join. I mean, it's the same thing. But I always have to keep in mind that my smaller table should be my master table. Otherwise, you may mess up. So if you're confused with joins and the right and the left, we'll do it one by one. Okay, let's start. Let's look at the first one. People who want to be computer programmers are ready to take less than 95,000. 2 people, job done. Same query, job done. So they will all do the job, basically, till I come to the right outer join, which I want to show you. Job done. Now let's look at right outer join. How does right outer join work? Do it in steps if you don't like understand it. So it is saying I want to pick up a record from here and try to find a partner here, and my joining condition is on the contact ID. That person must be a computer programmer and is ready to take 95,000 or less. So let's try this now. Same answer. I just said, pick it up. Do you want to be a computer programmer? Yes. Are you ready to take 95,000 or less? Yes. All I'm doing is extracting the name and the phone number. So I don't have to check, do I get null fields or do I get extra records? No, because logically think about it. But if I had messed up, like let me show you how this will also work. The left outer join is just the same thing. But let's do the opposite, guys. Let's take this table on the right. Let's take this table on the left. What is the major table now? Which is the major table now? The MC, right? Which means what are you doing? You are picking up every record from MC, looking at their phone number or whatever, and then trying to do something with the other table. Let's see what happens in this one. Now I can show you the time. Yeah, we can, but it's so small that it says 0 seconds and I can't show you in nanoseconds. Let's see what it does. So do we have everything at the right place? Yes, okay. So it will work, but is it more efficient or not is something that comes with experience. If you can't think about it, guys, don't worry about it. It's okay because you're just starting to learn. I know that this one is more efficient because this is a smaller table and it makes more sense to say, do you want to be a computer programmer? What's your phone number? Instead of the opposite. Pick up a contact, go to the other table. Do you want to be a computer programmer? Next record. Do you want to be? So you're kind of checking thousands of students or thousands of contacts and then asking them, do you want to be a computer programmer? Whereas the other way, you want to be a computer programmer, what's your phone number? Right? So this is less efficient. I can't, oh, you know what? Look at something. I have 0.016 seconds instead of 0 seconds. So that shows you it is less efficient. Look at the last one where I did a 2 rows return. That shows you the difference. That tells me that this one is less efficient. And logically it is. Think about it for a minute. I have a smaller table in which I have the information. Who wants to be a computer programmer? You put up your hand, I say, what's your name? And the other one is saying, I go to each one of you and say, do you want to be a computer programmer? What's your name? Do you want? So there's a difference, right? So in one, students are saying, I want to be a computer programmer. 2 hands are up. I ask their names. On the other, I think I'm the master, so I go to each one of you and say, do you want to be a computer programmer? Do you want to be a computer programmer? Definitely it will take more time. So thankfully, I wasn't expecting it, but thankfully it has shown that one is taking 0 seconds, which of course is not 0, it will be taking something. But this one is coming up with as 0.016, which is still very small, but is more than whatever is 0. So the left outer join is not wrong, but it is definitely less efficient. It is definitely less efficient. Don't forget, right? So I would, since you're programmers, I would like you to understand it. If you can handle it, good. If you can't handle it, that's okay too. That's not a big, it's not something that I'll penalize you for. But I want you to understand. So I'll write the normal one where it is a good, efficient one, and then I'll write the less efficient one also for you. And I'll put all of this on Blackboard, so don't worry about it, okay? So this is okay. This is the one which is efficient. So I've written a less efficient one and an efficient one for you. And you'll say, oh, what's the difference? The difference is which is the master table. In the first one, job desired is the master table. In the second one, my contacts is the master table. But they both work because you're basically picking up every record, going to the second table and saying, do you want to be a computer programmer? So the where is doing the job. It just takes more time. So there are 7 ways, I think, in which I've written the query for you. Which one do you choose? My aim is I show you always. My aim is that I teach you everything. If in an assignment I'm saying do it this way, you have to do it that way. If I don't say anything, you choose whatever you like. Okay. So in an assignment, I think I will be a little more specific so that I can test you on everything. Write an outer join, write an inner join, write an outer join. Maybe in the exam, I'll just let you do it yourself because exam time is always more stressful, right? Because you're saying, why is she forcing us? I'll do it the way I can think, which is okay. But in an assignment, I'll try to ask you everything. Now let's write a subquery for it. Think about it. What do I want to do? I want to pick up the computer programmers from the second table and find their phone number in the first table. Right? So let's do this. Select the name and the person's phone number. Whose phone number and whose names? All those where this person is present in this table. Which table? Be very careful when you do the in. Don't look for apples and oranges. You are trying to match. So if you're looking for contact IDs here, you have to select contact IDs here. Don't say, or where contact ID is in here, you are selecting the title. Okay. So select the contact ID from which table? From the job table, job desired. This is the table where you want to pick up. Which people do you want to pick up? You want to pick up those people who are ready to be computer programmers and who are ready to take 95K or less. And if you like, if it makes you feel, I mean, you don't have to write it right there. You can put it on a different line. You can kind of do it exactly like you were doing it in the previous ones. Like you can just write it like this. That makes it a little easy for you to understand. You can put it in, it's new lines, tabs, spaces are all ignored in MySQL, right? So this one, and if now you can do this, see, you only select this one, select it, just select and run this one. These are the 2 guys who are interested. Oh, error. Oh, job desired. I don't even have to say JD now, right? Because there is no JD. I mean, I don't even have to qualify them. Okay, pick up this one, only this one, and run it. See, these are the 2 people who are interested to be computer programmers, job desired. I have their contact ID. That's all I wanted, contact ID. You can't put contact ID, comma, anything here because this is a list and you're looking for a number in a list of numbers. So you only have one field that you have to select in the inner subquery. You can't say, give me the contact ID, comma, give me the title. And then you're saying, look for contact ID in that. It can be done. Logically think about it. If I'm searching for a number, I can only search it in a list of numbers. If I'm searching for a name, I can search it in a list of names. So if you're going to search for a contact ID, you can only select in a list of contact IDs. So I can run this independently and it says there are two people. I don't have much information about them. I know their contact IDs are 7 and 8. Then I say, oh, what's your name and what's your number? What error do I have now? Oh, the MC one now, because I didn't qualify it. That's what comes by copying and pasting. Can you qualify it still? Sure you can. Nothing stops you. Do I need to qualify? No. See, these are the two people. And their contact IDs are 7 and 8. So you can double check. So Kroger and Mendoza. Kind of tough names, but let's go back. Who was 7? Who was 8? Who was 7? Who was 8? There you are, 7 and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Kroger and Mendoza. So the answers are right. These guys were 7 and 8. And these guys wanted to be computer programmers. We already know that. Job desired table. 7 and 8 want to be computer programmers. So the answer is correct. Right? So this is the subquery. Many students find subquery to be easy because I think it's the thinking process, but you cannot avoid joins. Okay? So you have to learn them. So don't go the easy way. Go the right, learn it, and then when you work in the real field, then you will do whatever you do. Okay, now let's, what I said, select the full name and phone number again, 2A. What was this then? It was 1. Okay, so what am I looking for now? Full name and phone of all those who are looking for a job as listed in job desired. Oh, so everybody who's looking for a job. Everybody who's looking for a job, right? The first one said only people looking for computer programmer and 95,000 and less. For, yes, subquery here. This is much easier, but it can be done in the same way. People who want jobs are in job desired. People, their names and phone numbers are in contacts. So the same query will work, except that now there is no where, in a sense, if you kind of think about it. Everybody who's looking for a job, select the full name and phone of all those who are looking for a job. So basically 3 people, I think, 2 computer programmers and 1 baker were looking for a job, whatever they were, I can't remember. So all you have to do is much easier, right? Okay, see, what have you missed? Maybe it's saying something about JD and MCs and we don't have anything now. I copied and then I removed all their alias names. There is no names with anything. A table my contacts isn't called MC or anything. If you have them, then it's okay. Otherwise, I haven't qualified anything. Okay, let me see. And again, 95,000 is a number, you will not put it in quotes. I saw in a couple of assignment 5s, but it was being put in, where is it? Select this name, number from the table, where the contact ID is in, select the contact ID from the title is the programmer, what is the editor? Clear the window. No, this one. You can go right click and see clear. Now. So yeah, so it is always a good idea that when you're running big programs or you're running, you clear your window, clear your error window, right? So, and this is there's a simple way of clearing it. This window doesn't clear on its own. Keep in mind this window at the bottom doesn't clear. So I can still see errors, but those are errors from my previous runs. So it's a good idea that you always clear it. And I think all you have to do is you go right click and you say clear. So that way, sometimes do it occasionally. I would say frequently, just because we have so many joins now, right? Okay, the second one is much easier. We don't even have to put a lot of effort in it at all, actually. So let's kind of just copy it from somewhere, from the first one. And again, there are many ways of doing it. We already know it. This one is saying, I just want to know who's interested in. That's all we need. That's all we need. People who are interested in jobs, their names and their numbers. There is no other condition. But the joining condition is important. Right? So all the queries that you have just written above in one, you can copy them all and then remove the where conditions in a way. Right? So you can do this. You can just keep copying one after another. And again, even the joins will do. Everything will work. All these queries that you've written here, they just have extra conditions. What are the extra conditions? So pick them up from here, all of them that you just answered in one. Even the less efficient one, even the subquery one, everything. We'll have to change the subquery. Okay. And copy them here. And now we will look at them one by one. Okay. All it says is everybody interested in a job. I don't need the where. Remove the where. Just replace by a semicolon. Job done. People and name and phone number of people who are looking for a job. Second one, same thing. No where condition. Job done. Right? Third one. What was this one? With a comma. Oh, here we'll have to be careful. We need to join it. Right? We need to join it. So there is a where here. But no, not the other conditions. I use a comma, so I use a where. So remove the where from the first, remove the where from the second. In the third one, please keep this joining condition. Don't remove the where. I can't use on here. What about this one? No wheres again. Right? No wheres. What about the next one? Right outer join. Okay, right outer join. Everybody who is looking for a job. No where again. We have to be careful about outer joins. For a minute, let me think. Everybody is picked from here. Find a partner there. Yep. We don't need anything. Left outer join. The efficient one. No where condition. Now the less efficient one will give me problems. Why? Because it is picking up everybody from the my contacts table and is checking that. I mean, if I remove this condition, think of it. If I remove this condition, I'm joining on contact ID. So whoever joins good, whoever doesn't join will have that nulls in it. Right? So now this less efficient one won't even work. I'll show you why it won't work. Give me a minute. I've removed the where like I was doing from everything else. The subquery one, we'll have to look in the subquery one also. Okay, what do we want to do for subquery? Everybody who's looking for a job. Remove the condition. There. The only one that will not work is the less efficient one. And let's think about it. I think it won't work. I could be wrong, but I think it will not work. Why? You're picking up every record from the My Contacts table and you're looking for a partner in the JD table. If you find a partner, good. But if you don't find a partner, remember, what does it fill it with? Nulls. But I'm only interested in people who looking for a job. So I'm going to show you the run of this. Every answer must be the same except one of them will be wrong. So take everything from 2A and run it till you see the 2B. And give it a go. Okay, now let's start to check. Something doesn't seem right. 3 people were looking for a job only. How many people were looking for a job? Job desired table has how many? Oh, 5 people were looking for a job. My mistake. 2 computer programmers, 1 sales manager, 1 baker, and 1 chef. So 5 people are looking for a job. So you should have 5 answers, right? Let's look. Do we have 5 answers? 5 answers? 5 answers. 5 answers. 5, 5, 5. This is the one I think will have a problem. There it is. The less efficient one is incorrect because it is showing everybody. Right? As I said. And again, 5 in the subquery. What's happening here, which is not giving me the right answer, is this. This is not working. Think of it logically why it is not working. Though I copied it, I told you it will not work. Why is this one not working? Why is the less efficient one not working? Because it is picking up every contact from the contacts table Look, the table on the left is my contacts. It picks it up, tries to find a partner. If it finds a partner, it spits it out. If it doesn't find a partner, it still spits it out. Why? But it has that extra fields of null. So just to show you, that was a good tune. Just to show you, here, see what is happening in this less efficient one. Where did it come from? Who had that music on? That's okay. There's nothing sorry about it. It just seemed familiar. So I'm trying to see where did it come from. Right? It's a Hindi song, isn't it? Yeah. So we recognize it. Okay. Okay, so let's do it. See, this is what is happening in that less efficient one. Whoever found a partner is also on the table. Whoever didn't find a partner is also on the table. That's what happens, right? If you find a partner, join. If you don't find a partner, none. And I told you it won't work, but you can make it work. Though it is less efficient, you can make it work. How? What do you have to remove? You have to remove these extra records. What does it have in its field? None. Remove them. Put a where condition and remove them. So this is what a join does. It says, look for a partner, found it. Look for a partner, didn't find it. Fill up the fields with null. So now make it work. How will you make it work? Which records do you want to remove? You want to remove those records or you want to keep those records, either way, one way. You want to keep those records where? Which field do you want to pick up from here? We'll pick up the contact ID just because it's easy. Where the JD contact ID, so which table? Where the JD contact ID is not null. Only keep those records. Now you will have the right answer. Make sense? Look at what I've done. See both the windows together. This is what I had before when I didn't have my where condition. It was just doing the join. Left outer join says what? Take my contacts table. So it took 4, found a partner. Took 7, found a partner. Took 8, found a partner. Took 9, found a partner. Took 10, found a partner. Picked up 1, couldn't find a partner. There was nobody in the job desired table. 1 was looking for a job. 2 didn't find a partner. 3 didn't find a partner. So did 5 and not so 6. So they didn't find a partner. So what does it do? It fills it up with null. It doesn't remove them automatically. It's not an inner join. It's an outer join. So I have to remove them. So what do I want to keep? I want to keep all these guys. And what is their contact ID? Not equal. If you wanted to keep these guys, you would say where contact ID is. So now if you kind of think of it, if I ask you, who are the people who are not looking for a job, you can get the answer from here, which is 2B. Who is not looking for a job? Right? That will also come from here. But in that case, I'll keep these answers, the bottom answers. Now which answers do I have to keep? The upper answers. So now add that where condition to your less efficient. Now I can't say whether it is less efficient or not, but I think it is still less efficient because I'm taking a bigger table and trying to find partners. It is still less efficient. Now take this again and run it. Okay, so somewhere I've made a mistake. Oh, thank you. Yes, not is. Of course, it won't run. Small d will do. It's not case sensitive. Thank you. Let's try this now. It should run. Can't see much difference. I still see a 0.00 seconds. Oh, we were only interested in names, but now see, I only have those records which are looking for job. So you have to be careful with now. See, now there is a difference between left outer join and right outer join if you do not choose the right master. So if you choose a different master, be careful that you look at your answer and satisfy yourself that it is right. So I'll remove the star because I was only interested in names and we will run it again. And my answer is right. 5 people only. Good. Answer is good. Now let's go to the next one. I'll give you a break. Don't worry. I know, but we started late. Okay. So give me, and this subquery is running already. We already checked it. I know it's not easy. Now let's look at 2B. 2B says, now see if there are any job. Oh, okay. Okay. It's a different thing. I thought I would do it who is not looking for a job. We could have done who is not looking for a job. Now see if there are any job opportunities for them as listed in the job listings table. I'm going a step further. These people are looking for a job. Is there a job in the market? You already had 2 tables joined. Now you need a 3rd table. Now I want to look, it says, now see if there are any job opportunities for them as listed in the job listings table. So you already know who is looking for a job. You already know that. Now you want to check, is there a job for them in the job listings table? So it very clearly tells you that you have to join 3 tables. 2 you already were joining, you have to now join a 3rd table. Right? But before I do this, since it just came up while we were doing it, why I'm just going to say, somewhere here I'm going to say people not looking for job. I just want to show it to you with that left outer join that we just did, with that less efficient one. And here, instead of saying job contact ID is not null, I'll say is null. So these are people that are not looking for job. This is just because I showed you that table. It wasn't in your notes, but I just want to show you. So Franklin, whatever, these people are looking for the jobs, and we should have opposite answer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or whatever, whoever they were. Let's see. Let's see people who are not looking for a job will be entirely the opposite people. So if you want to see is she saying the right thing, you can run both queries together. Then you will see what's in the one is not in the other. Okay, people looking for job. Can you remember? My memory is not that good. But anyway, Franklin, Kroger, MMS. Okay, FKMMS. We have a K here, but it's not the same guy. It's Kenton here, it's Kroger here, it's Mendoza here, it's McGavin here. Answer is right. These are people who are not looking for a job. What did I do? I changed the condition where it said where contact ID is null. So this just came as a side effect of what I was showing you. It was not in the question, but this was maybe a question will come further. I don't know. But when I showed you the table, there were people with is null, they had not null, and they had null. So which had not null were looking for jobs, which was null are not looking for jobs. And this is the only way I can do it. I can do it the opposite way. I can take job desired to be my main table now. I can, because I'm looking for people who are not looking for jobs. That information is only in the my contacts. I can do it the other way. My master table has to be my contacts. Because what is your question? You are here, but you're not here. Right? So you can't use job desired as your master table here. You have to use my contacts as your master table. There is no way out. Because this information about everybody is in contacts, and you are saying, oh, you are here, but you're not looking for a job. Okay, so this has to be done this way. Now it says, see if there are any job opportunities for them. So we are going one step further. So maybe now, you know what I'll do? I know it's just a copy and a paste, but oh well, can't give up just because I'm lazy. Okay, so now try again. People who are their names and whether they have a job. Okay, so let's go and select one at a time. Let's only take one at a time. So these people are looking for a job. Is their job available in the market? Okay, so these people are looking for jobs. I just did what I did before. People are looking for the job. But now I also want to see if the job is in the market. What is my third table that I need to join? Job listings. So if you were using comma, just put a comma. I have just picked up the first one, right? So now it says I have to join a third table. I have to. There is no other option. My joining condition still remains the same. Contact ID of the first is equal to contact ID of the second. But what about, how do I join the third table? I have to have a joining condition. You will say the third table is not connected to anybody. Think hard. This table and this table are they are connected by contact ID. Now I want to see, is this job desired in the listings table? What should I match? Title. Perfect. Title. I desire to be a computer programmer. Is there a computer programmer job? They're not related that way that one is dependent upon the another. So there is no foreign key relationship, because job listings could have thousands of jobs and job desired could only be 10. So there is not that kind of relationship. But if I have to join a table, I have to look for how do I join it. I just can't say give me everything. I'm saying I'm looking for a computer programmer. Is there a computer programmer in the job listing? So add another condition. What is that condition? As mentioned, the condition is, I'm sorry that I still don't know your names, but there are so many that I can't learn them. Okay, guys, but I love you all. Okay, here. So, and the third is the job desired title. I really wish I could learn your names, but you know, it will take me 15 minutes every day to learn 2 names. I remember Muhammad's just because he's so talkative. And the title, he introduced himself the first day and he said, my name is Muhammad and you can call me Mo. And I said, no, Mo is not a good name. So I stuck with Muhammad, right? So I'm sorry that I don't know your names, and I'm not making the effort also. It's just because I don't have time, right? I don't have time. I want to give you more. And the JD title should be equal to, do you want to give this one a name too, an alias name? Let's call it JL. Make sense? There's your joining condition. Never forget your joining conditions. So now I'm trying to join 3 tables. Oh, and you know what? We'll stick with that. Trim. I forgot. That's how bad I am. That's how short of time I am. I said I will look it up, how I can ignore it, that I can kind of take care. And I'm almost positive I read about it, and now I can't find it again. I think I can remember, but old age is not good for remembering. Okay, here, right? So I'm saying trim it and then match it. Trimming, I'm always doing. If I can find a set where I can say, oh, ignore leading and trailing blanks, it would be good for my life. Maybe one of you can do it and take some extra marks from me, guys. Okay, so what am I saying? The contact IDs should be the same and the titles should be the same. I can do it in many more ways, but I'll kind of go slow with you. I can do it with a combination of an outer join and an inner join. I can do it with a combination only of outer join only. So there are many ways. I'll show you a few and then I'll give you a break. And can I do it with a subquery? Okay, I have asked a subquery. So let's do a subquery because subquery is easy. I'll give you a break, don't worry. So what do I want to do? Concat this from here, pick it up from here. I will, but promise after this one, I'll give you a break and come back and then do the rest. Okay, I'm looking for names and phone numbers of those people who are in the My Contacts table where these people are looking for a job. I need another select. Who is looking for a job? These people are looking for a job. These people are looking for a job, right? So pick up those names and those phone numbers of those people who are looking for a job. But there is something else, that there is a job for these guys in the job listings table. So there is another subquery. Oh, bless you. Where Oh, sorry. Yeah, it is. You're right, it is. And I need another one here. I'm putting my brackets as I'm going on. So look, the name and the phone number for people who are interested in a job. Till here we are done before. But these people who are interested in the job, their title must be in which table? In the job listings table. Table job listings. Since 3 tables are involved, there will be 2 subqueries. And keep in mind, you should open and close. You should open and close. And then a semicolon. If you don't open and close properly, and maybe I didn't, I think I've done, I'm right. Because when I open a bracket, I usually close it straight away. That way I don't forget. So you were writing this query and there came an in here. As soon as there came an in, I said, oh, I want another subquery. And I closed it right away. And then I closed the main one. And the beauty of subquery, you can run one at a time. You can select titles from job listings. Here. It tells you all these titles are available. Baker, clown, dog trainer, hairdresser, jeweler, whatever, right? Now I know that people are desiring job. There were 2 computer programmers, a baker, so on and so forth. You can actually run 2 at a time. You can run this one only. So these are people who are looking for a job and have them. 7, 8, and 10. So 7 and 8 were looking for computer programmer and 10 was a baker, and baker is also available. So there are 3 people looking and they are in the job listings. Now, what is their name and what is their phone number? There it is. So I've given you one solution of the join and I've given you one solution of subquery, but there are more. What we will do is we'll take a break. I know we need a break. Even I need a break. Though it's just been an hour. And we'll come back and complete it. Because I can show you a combination of join and subquery also, and I can do more of joins also. And they're a little different. So take a break, 20 minutes, come back in 20 minutes. We have a lot of work to do. Okay. And then we'll continue with this. But that gives you an idea in simple terms of what I'm doing. I need a job. It's in the job listings. What's my name and phone number? Okay. So, yeah. Good, how are you?
Good, good. So yesterday's I gone through the first interview.
Okay.
And then Friday the second one.
So
And
there are 2?
yeah, for the same title. And so still in RBC Toronto, but it's a different team, different building. So they have like 6. Because the title is general, it's called technical.
There is somebody's looking here in Barrie, and they're also looking somebody in Toronto.
No, it's both in Toronto.
Oh, they're
just
both in
different-
Toronto.
Yeah, just different team. Because in RBC Toronto, they have too many teams, so
Okay.
they need many support.
That's stupid. They should just take one interview and do it, right?
Well, it's different teams, so I understand.
I mean, if a person is good, he can go to any team. You know what I mean?
I hope so.
So how did the interview go?
That one is very funny. And also during the class, I just received an email from Emo.
Oh,
Yeah, from Emo Toronto.
and they're saying,
That one is something similar. It's called a security analyst.
oh, security.
Yeah, it's still about a little bit about networking. So three of them, all about networking. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Maybe because I put networking in my resume, so they
But
are.
you're a programmer, right?
Yeah, programmer.
You're a programmer course.
Yeah. But well, we do take the what is it called? Networking
Networking.
class. Yeah. So, but that one helps a lot though. That one helps a lot because in bank, what they need the co-op student do is like very basic.
Okay.
Yeah, because they don't want you to get into the assets.
Yeah.
They want the professional to do that. So what we do is like learning more than like a learning experience.
So when are they going to tell you the Tuesday one?
So the Tuesday one was very funny. The Tuesday one should be belongs to the two ladies in cybersecurity team, and the Friday one is also two ladies in unified communication.
Okay.
Yeah, so both are related to networking, but the Tuesday one is more fancy. It's the cybersecurity. I'm like, yeah, I want to get.
That's, I don't know. Maybe they'll teach you some stuff on the job. They're looking for persons in security and all that, right?
I guess so. Because in bank, security is definitely a big part. But definitely they won't give me too many.
But this is your first co-op, right?
Yeah, first co-op.
Good that you've got this opportunity. But
Yeah.
till when they give you or let you know?
They said they will let us know like through the HR, so the HR will probably take 2 or 3 weeks. Who knows? Yeah.
You'll keep giving your interviews, right?
Yeah,
And you are getting experience.
yeah, it's experience. Yeah. So yesterday one is very funny. It should be 2 ladies interviewing me, and then they have maybe a last minute call of the meeting, so they cannot be there. So they alternatively ask a British guy to interview me.
Oh,
Yeah, I guess it's the last minute decision because I can tell from the phone call, from the conversation, the guy doesn't know what's going on.
oh,
Yeah, he know he's kind of interviewing, but
he doesn't know for what or what should he be asking.
yeah, he doesn't know what to ask. So
what happened? What did he ask you then?
it was so funny. It was funny. Like everybody asked me how is it going. I'm like funny because it's not normal. It's definitely not normal. So usually it should be like, hey, how are you doing? How's your day? Tell me more about yourself. Why do you want to join RBC? Things like that. Right? And then he's like, when I pick up the call, he's like. Because he's had kind of strong British accent, so I was a little bit lost at the first place because I expected 2 ladies speaking like maybe American English, British accent. I was like, wait, what's going on? It's a British guy, and then he's like, I can tell he's maybe have a document in front of him, like.
Oh, this was a telephonic one.
Sorry?
This was a telephonic interview.
No.
Face to face.
Oh yeah, it's phone call. It's phone call.
Phone call. Okay.
Yeah, it's phone call. All 3 of them are phone call.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
because they're in Toronto, I'm Barrie, so they
Okay.
yes, they want to make
Okay,
sure.
so he has a question of list of questions. He's just asking it like with no idea of what to expect.
No. He didn't ask question. He's right. I was like, he's like when I pick up the call, he's reading the material of maybe the team or the job description. Like it's about the team, about the job. So he's reading, blah blah. I was kind of freeze for 30 seconds. So I was like, wait, hold on. This is the job that I applied. Yes,
Yeah.
this is the one.
Yeah.
I'm right because the person has changed.
He doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah. He sounds very nervous. Like he pouts a lot.
Oh,
I
that's
guess.
strange.
Yeah.
They could have just changed the time of the interview,
I
right?
know, but because I have a friend who works in RBC, and he told me maybe because they think like at the last minute to change the interview time to reschedule, it's rule for me. I am actually okay, but from their perspective, they think it's rule. So I'm like,
So you didn't ask anything there?
he like
Nothing?
he mostly asks, it's like, oh, I don't have a copy of your resume, so I don't know which program you're in, I don't know which year you're in, I don't know blah blah.
That's poor.
Yeah.
That's really not good.
Yeah, and he didn't ask me. So I literally, so he pause in the conversation, right? Because he's very nervous. So I would literally, when he paused, I jump in. I'm like, yeah, I'm very interested in cybersecurity. I know BMO and CIBC got hacked recently. I had technical skills definitely because I'm a programming student. I have business experience before, and I also have a teamwork from hackathons. Like keep pushing, selling myself, pushing him information. So,
Maybe he's not even listening to it. You know what I mean?
I don't know. And so at the conversation lasts from 20 to 30 minutes, I guess. Like this.
Oh, that was a long one.
Yeah, he's keep reading.
That's true.
I know. My friend was there, and then my friend was like, "RBC has been there for 124 years. Why can't you get somebody can interview?"
And if they can, if something has happened, they can always reschedule
I
it,
know.
right? No, it's not good on part of the for you that
Yeah.
you're not being asked anything.
Yeah. So he said, okay, I will tell Shona. Shona is the manager. I will tell Shona that you are kind, you have technical skills, you have experience, seems you're a good fit. I'm like, what do you mean? It seems a good fit.
Yeah.
I mean, because he didn't ask details
Of anything. So how does he know?
Yeah, I mean, I telling him the general information of myself, but I can bullshit. He didn't ask the details, so he should ask the detail. So I asked him,
He
like,
wasn't ready for the interview.
yeah.
He
Well,
had
I
no
can
clue
tell.
what to do.
Yeah, it's very
Silly.
obvious. Yeah.
I
So-
hope it doesn't happen on Friday.
Oh, I don't think so, because it's very rare. It's very rare. I talk to everybody, and everybody's like, this is rare. Yeah, it's definitely not a thing. I know that. So and then I asked him again at the 25 minutes of the call, and I asked him, do you have any more questions to me? He's like, I think it's fine to talk. He's like, I talk about the job, talk about the team. I'm like, no, I mean, what information you want from me? I'm like, me. So funny. Yeah, so when I finished the call, I sent him an email, like, thank you for the time. And then if there's a chance for me to connect with the lady, that would be fine. That would be great. And then he haven't replied because I guess he didn't know what to do. He didn't even know what to do. He's so lost. Yeah, it's so funny.
Maybe you should request for a read. I don't know, like if it's if it's.
But I didn't he hasn't replied. So
But
yeah.
he didn't reply to your email also, right?
Yeah, he didn't reply because I guess he doesn't know
That's
what to
rude.
do.
But that's rude. You should say something, or you should just forward it and say, I'm forwarding it to
That's
whoever,
true.
right?
That's true. Yeah.
What is it today, Wednesday? So you just had it yesterday.
Yesterday. Yes, I thought it was today, so I asked you for a leave. And then, but,
Maybe
wait,
wait
it's
a couple of
yesterday.
days then. And then you have another chance still on Friday, and then the BM.
Yeah, and the big one. Yeah, and also one of my friend, she knows somebody in CIBC, and the CIBC, like one of the teams looking for co-op, and then he referred me. I'm like, great, directly goes. Yeah, and then I send the CIBC person a copy of my resume, send him an email. So then I guess I will get an interview from that as well, because that one it's directly, so there's more chance. And then he's like, I like the background, everything looks good.
Good. Hopefully something will come.
Yeah.
But that's strange. They would just reschedule it. Right?
Yeah, it's so
And
funny.
finish the whole story.
Yeah, I was thinking, should I reschedule, like send an email to the HR, like the HR who sent the email about the scheduling.
I think wait for a couple of days.
Yeah,
It's just
maybe.
been yesterday.
Yeah, so yeah, I don't want to be too
Yeah.
fast.
And you have still Friday, and you have another one. So
Yeah.
wait.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Let me know what happens.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes, Ishan.
Yeah. So many. Do you remember I asked for permission for I had an interview. So I got job offer from the beginning.
Good.
They are checking for they are requiring 3 references from
Okay.
background check. So if
Sure.
you can give me a permission. to
Sure.
put
Yeah, put in my name.
Okay. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Last night I started watching it and I passed out afterwards. Yeah. No, it's true. No, the video, the weekend, she was recording that she had some nuclear waste management organization. आपसे हमारी नोटिस आएगी September ini
Offline apa enggak boleh. Online bisa bisa.
It's what time? Okay, let's start. Let's come back to putting our brains to work. Okay. So what we were working on, we said we want to find out if people who are looking for jobs, do they have any job opportunities? And the simplest one that came to mind was, let's join the three tables. The first two tables are being joined on contact ID and the other two tables are being joined on title. Nothing wrong with it. Simple solution. But of course, there are other ways of looking at it or thinking about it. So I'll tell you a couple. And as I said, there are many. I can think of it of many ways. But you can kind of think of it this way also. I can say these people are looking for a job and it's in the job listings. I get that information first, right? So these people are looking for jobs and they are in the job listings. And now, what is their name and phone number? Right? So you can think it of the other way. Instead of combining all three tables just for the heck of it, okay, all three combined, you do the matching and everything. You can make it a little more efficient. How can you make it efficient? Let me find out who is looking for a job and it is available. Once I know that, then I'll say, what's your name and what's your phone number? So let's do it that way first, right? So as I said, nothing wrong in this. This is the easiest, but I think the most time consuming, because you're just saying, just join the three tables for me, join on these conditions and then give me the result. I can make it, think it better. Let me get who is desiring and has it in listing. Once I have that answer, what's your name and what's your phone number? Okay, so let's try it that way. Look at this. This is what I'll do. So I'll first try to find out who is looking for a job and it is in the job listings. So for that, I will use an outer join because, and I'll again write the select with the star first so that you can see it. Right? The star will always tell you what comes and then which records must I pick up. Okay, so let's select star. Just always, it's always a good idea. That's how I learned it. I'm just telling you that's how I learned it, but it depends on you. I'm going to first select from my tables, the two tables. I'll pick up two tables first. You desire it and you have it. Then I'll find out their names. So select star from, let's take the job desired table. And again, I'm taking this to be my master table because it's the people, that's what I'm interested in. What do you desire? And I'm going to do a left outer join with the other table, the listings table. Right? So these are people looking for a job and they are also in the listing. Let's give them names in case we want them. Now comes the joining condition. What is the joining condition? The joining condition is written with an on. Keep in mind, in auto joins, they're always written with on. In inner join, you have an option of saying on or where, but not with outer join. What is their condition? Their condition is JD dot something is equal to JL dot something. That something is title. Right? Okay, so what am I saying? I'm saying select star from this table, left it join with the other. Why is it giving me a squiggly? Why do I have a squiggly, guys? Space where? Oh, do you think that's causing it? Oh, that's it? Do you think? How silly can that be? Okay, it's not silly. It says completed. Anyway, so, okay. So this is just one. I haven't finished. Okay, I'm saying, okay, you desire a job and it's in the listing. Let's look at what we have. run it. So of course we'll have people who desire it but don't have it in the listings, right? So baker, computer programmer and computer programmer need a job and it's also in the listing. Sales manager and chef need a job but it's not in the listing. So what am I interested in? People who have job opportunities. So these first three. So what must I pick up? Where job ID is not equal to null, right? Please, one by one step, understand. I did a left outer join of job desired with job listings because I'm saying you desire it, you have it. This is my master table because the desiring is more important. Who desires it? Listings could be a huge table. Or maybe if they are of the same size, who knows? But according to me, what we are looking in our data is people desired are less, listings is more. And it's basically a question says, I desire it, do you have it? So I make this my master table, right? So now which records do I want to keep? Only these ones. These are people who have a desire for a job and they are available in the listings. So complete it now. Complete it. So how do I complete it? I only want to keep those records where the job ID is not null. What will I have? These two records will go away. I'll only have 11313 and this 107 and 8. Now what do I want? I want their names and phone numbers. That's what I want. Their names and phone numbers, right? So if I now, how do I get their names and phone numbers? To get their names and phone numbers, I have to now make a join with the contacts table. Or I can do a left outer join with the contacts table. I can do anything. So I have these names. All I'm looking for is what's your name and what's your phone number. So I can now again make a join. So let's again make a join. So if you again make a join, you can use, you can do an inner join if you like. You can also do a left outer join if you like. But with left outer join, we just have to be careful where to place conditions. Okay, so we'll do it we'll complete it and then we'll look at it syntactically. I'm doing it logically. So now once I have the answer, I want to make a left outer join with which table? With the other table. What table was it? My contacts. TBL my contacts. And of course, what's my joining condition? My joining condition on this one is, you can give it a name. I don't know whether we will need it. My joining condition on this is that it is on contact ID is coming from where? JD, where JD dot contact ID is equal to MC dot contact ID. Now there is a syntax that I need to tell you, but let me just complete this. Now I have a syntax error here because when you're joining tables, you join them together and you put the where condition at the end. So that's, you put the where condition always at the end. Does that make sense? So first I'm saying, so you did an inner join of all three tables. There's nothing wrong in it. It's just too much work. Every record of one goes to, every record of the second goes to, every record of the third, condition is true and so on. This one is saying what? Desire a job, have it in the listings. Find my phone number. So it's stepwise and more logical and efficient. So computer programmer, do you have it in listing? Yes. What's your name and phone number? Second, computer programmer, do you have something for me? Yes. What's your phone number? Baker, do you have something for me? Yes. What's your phone number? Salesman, do you have something for me? No. Okay, don't even talk to the third table. Right? Last, there was another one. I can't remember, clown or whatever. Do you have a job for me? No. Oh, don't even go to the third table. So I've made it efficient. Now, instead of this left outer join, I could have done an inner join also and it would still have worked. But again, the inner join says join it with the whole thing. And it's again doing more work. The left outer join just says look for me there, right? But again, we can't see times. I haven't worked really in the real world where I can tell you which is more efficient, but with experience of what I've done, I can guess, educated guess. So I can do the same thing. I'll take this and I'm hoping, oh, let's try it. It should work. Oh, this is a star still going on. So stars are something that will not be very useful, but it is the right answer because here are the three people, right? I'm only interested in the first name and the phone number. If the star is working, all I have to do is replace it with this. So my advice to you would be, whenever you are doing outer joins, always start with a star, do a left outer join, whatever join it is, look at the results. See what you want from it and what you don't want from it, and then remove the records you don't want. Okay, so this is another way of looking at it. So instead of using an inner join, I've used two outer joins. So the first table is joined to the second table, and the second table is then joined to the third table. And I've used left outer joins everywhere, though you could have also done this. So this is clear. Desired is doing a left outer join with listings. But here, instead of a left outer join, you could have done an inner join. Now join it with the third table. You could have still done an inner join. Instead of a left outer join, you could have done a inner join. Have I trimmed my titles? No, not again. Oh God. I keep forgetting that I should be trimming titles. Not that we have it anywhere in our code. I mean, we are fine. Our code is fine, but you can't assume that every code will be fine. So trim your titles always. I mean, just your alphanumeric fields. And just because we have it on here, I'm going to pick it up from here. It doesn't like something. What doesn't it like? Oh, I forgot to close the trim. Instead of using a left outer join with the third table, you can do an inner join also. I mean, it could be more inefficient because now you're saying join with everything. The left outer join is saying look for me and do it. But this will also work. In where? Trim. Oh God. Okay. There is an I missing here. That means there should be an I missing here. And that should be an, no, that's okay. So 2 trims. Right? So that's, I mean, I would prefer this one because the left outer join says I only do what I need to, but the inner join should also work. So let's try this now. And actually, let's try the last two because I did a concat, just the name. So 3 people in both answers. Oh, are those, oh yeah, okay. So they were the 3 persons, right? I forgot their names. SK and M. There, that also works. So there can be more than one solutions. Okay, you can. There are a couple of more that I can think of, but you can do the inner join first and then you can do the outer join afterwards. I mean, it's anything. But the first one that comes to your mind is this one. You just say, oh, let me join all 3 tables and get it done with. Not a bad idea, but not efficient. This one is kind of thinking it logically. You desire it, you have it. Sure, give me your name. Right? This one is also doing the same thing. You desire it, you have it. Give me your name, except I've used inner join with it. And inner join will take more. I'm not very sure. I can compare maybe. I know about joins with left and right and master table and not master table. But between the inner and the outer, I'm not very educated about it. Maybe I'll read a little more and let you know that is inner join better than an outer join in some way. But otherwise, logically, I mean, for an outer join, it's quite logical. You are a smaller table. The question is coming from you. You should be the master table, right? But I don't know about the inner and the outer. So I won't say anything till I read a little more on it. And I didn't think about it. It just came to my head when I did it. And you can always kind of make it the opposite way. When I say make it the opposite way, you can do your inner joins first and you can do your outer joins. Some people like this. It says if you're picking this up from the My Contacts table, why don't you select it from My Contacts so that it's easy to understand? Yeah, okay, that's fine too. Okay, so that's where it is coming for. Some programmers like it this way. Since it is coming from My Contacts table, I'll write that table first and now I will make an inner join. And now I'll make an inner join with the other table that is this one, the left outer join one. Give me a minute. Where do I take it from? Here. Same thing, just in the opposite. I've written it in the opposite manner. I've written the MC first. Oh, MC. I've written the MC first. And I've written the join, the outer join afterwards. I think This one is the most efficient one, where you say, I want it, you have it. What's the name? Right? Because the other ones are kind of doing more stuff. This, between this and this, I cannot say, but this one is kind of saying, oh, I begin with this table. Why should I look at all the contacts first and then say, do you desire a job? So I think, and I think I'm right, this is the least efficient of what we've written. This is the least efficient of what we've written. It makes sense. Why should you start with the biggest table and then say, oh, do you desire a job? It's like saying, again, the same thing, coming to each one of you and saying, do you desire a job? Do you desire a job? Kind of stuff, right? So that's another way of writing it. So the inner join was the simplest, but believe me, it's not the most efficient, because you're just joining three tables like closed eyes. You do the job and give me the answer. And in a way, you could be right. You'll say, I'm not the machine. Machine can do it. Doesn't matter if it takes 1 second more or 1 second less. So again, there is. So the only thing to be remembered, oh, and the on condition, guys, where was there? Where job ID is not null. Can't forget this one. In an outer join, can't forget this one. We've already seen which records we are interested in. Oh, and whose job ID? So when I say TBL JD outer join, job ID is only in JL, so I don't have to do it. So let's try. So this should also work. Hopefully. Oh no, something hasn't worked. Something has gone wrong here, guys. In the last one, the least efficient one, what have I left out? Left outer join. Oh, you tell me what have I left out. I know what I have left out. What have I left out, guys? The condition of join between the contacts table and this table is left out, right? I joined this table fine, but I left out how this table has to be joined with this resulting table. And I told you, if you don't do it, you'll fail. Something will not work right. So where should I do it? Give me a minute now. There is an inner join. There is an on. I need another on or another where, whatever. Both will do. We can kind of do it here, where itself. I mean, you can do it wherever, but we'll do it right here. I'll put it in a different line. And that's why I didn't have the right answer. Where MC.contact ID is equal to, who was the other guy? JD, job desired. See, there is an example where I forgot the join condition. The only thing you have to remember is the where comes at the end. So here are the two conditions on which I am joining. These two are being joined on this, and then the outer one is being joined on this. Remember, when I use the word inner join, I can use on. Therefore, I combined it with on. You could have combined it in where also. Now let's see the answer. 3 people, 3 people. There it is. So always when you see more answers than expected, kind of say, oh, that I've forgotten something. And I had forgotten my joining condition. So again, whatever comes to your head in an exam is something I won't force you to think about it. If this comes to your head, sure. I'm not going to say give me efficient solutions in the exam for sure, because it's a lot of stress on the student. In an assignment, definitely I'm going to be more strict. One, because 2 of you will be doing it. It will be a group work. You'll put 2 heads together, and 2, you will have time to do it, right? So I'll do that during the assignment and make you test. Okay, now so I gave you a few, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, enough. I've had enough. I'm going to do one last one. It says, can you do it using a subquery and a join? Again, think of it. People who desire and have a listing. You have those guys. If I can pick up their contact ID and go to the master table, the contacts table, and say, now what's your name and what's your ID? So you can think it this way also. So write it with me. We've already kind of done it, but we'll combine it now. Okay. So I'm going to do, just because I'm so lazy, let's do it this way. Here. Okay. So I'm going to pick up the name and the phone number from, I'll do what I was doing, the left outer join, because I think it is, where are you? Here. It is efficient. Right? And don't forget that condition of where job ID is null. I've joined these two tables. It's not yet complete because the name and the first name and the last name and the phone number are not coming from here at all. Okay. So what am I saying? I'm saying select the name and the phone number from create a left outer join here. You can use using if you want. Really depends on like what we are doing. But give me a minute now. I want a subquery. I want a subquery. If I can join these tables, I have these tables. Oh, but the name is coming from the contacts table. So what I was thinking will not work. I was saying, okay, we've joined it. We can pick up the contact ID. And if that contact ID is in there, no. What I was thinking was incorrect. Because you're selecting from here, the table has to be somewhere here. Okay, let's do this then. Why not? Here. What was it called? Job, my contacts. Okay, table my contacts. Okay, so take your job desired, make a left outer join with my contacts. Let's call it MC because I'm using MC everywhere. And now what am I doing the joining on? I'm doing the joining on contact ID. So you can do an on. I'm just doing using so that you don't forget that there is a using also. This is like your on. Okay, this has replaced your on, guys. This is your on. I've written a short form instead of saying on JD dot contact ID is equal to MC dot contact ID. That's what I've replaced it with. And you can too. I mean, why write more code? Okay, now what are we left with? We still have a job to do. These guys still have to be in the job listings. Okay. So take the name, take the phone number from the desired table, make it with MC using this. And now where? Which ones do I want to pick up? Where this person's title is in here. There you go. Select title from job table job listings. There you go. I was thinking I'll take the first two and then find it from the name, but the problem is the fields that you are picking up from here have to be somewhere here when you pick them up. Okay, what have I missed now? My spelling of select is wrong and semicolon is missing. There you are. So I desire a job. I pick up the name and the phone number from contacts. Good. But I should also be in the job listings table. My title should also be in the job listings table. And I was thinking the opposite. It could have worked. I don't know. I can try. No, I don't think so. In a subquery, now this in a subquery, this can work independently. And then this whole can work kind of together. And if I take the MS table, the main contacts table here, I can't select it from, that's the only thing that can work. No, it should work. It should work. It should work. Let's try. 3 people. There it is. Right. So this is not to confuse you. Sorry, it is confusing. But the idea is that you can do a query in many ways, right? Now, at this stage of your education, it's not necessary that you understand that which is more efficient, which is less efficient, and so on. But if and when, if you go out and you work in the database field, in the database world, you will definitely have to think twice or thrice about writing queries. Because remember, queries work on tables with trillions of records. And every second, every nanosecond is important. So therefore, the idea is not to confuse you. The idea is to give you more ideas, right? So I've shown you a few ways. Again, pick up whatever you like. I started with inner join because it was the easiest. I said, just join the 3 tables and give me whatever matches. Then I said more efficient will be need a job, have a job, give me. So I went that route. And the other one was just replacing left join with inner join. Then this join and subquery, I just thought about it. Can I do it? But I was thinking wrong. I thought I would say select the name and something from here. And maybe I did right. But right now I won't. I don't want to waste your time. I want to, if I could select the name from here, you know what? It can be. No, but no. This select has to come here. This select has to come here itself. If I select it from here, then the table has to be somewhere in the from. Has to be somewhere in the from. That's the only one. If something strikes, I'll tell you. There. Again, we have 7 solutions to that question. I'm again repeating, guys. This is a little tough than what you did in the first 6 weeks. You are required to go and give it a little reading and repeating again without looking at mine, of course. Reading doesn't mean read. Oh, I understand it. Reading means leave the answers alone, try it yourself. Okay. Okay, let's go to the third one. List titles for job that earn salaries equal to the highest salary in the job current table. Now you'll say, what stupid questions are being asked? These questions were made stupid so that I could show you stupid things. Okay. So it's, and I haven't said joins here. Notice I've only said a subquery, which kind of makes you think, can't I do it using join? I couldn't do it using joins. I couldn't find a solution. So if you can, take some bonus points for it. Why couldn't I find a solution? Because it says list the titles for jobs. Now the titles for jobs are fine that earn salary. That means people who are working, right? Whose salaries are equal to the highest salary in the job current table. So first thing, what do I have to do? I have to find out what is the highest salary. That's one job, right? Once I have the highest salary, then I have to compare the salaries of everybody with this salary. So basically, I'm only working with a table. I find the highest salary in that job current table, and then I find everybody who earns that highest salary. So where is the question of join then? There is no join here. Do you see why I can't use join? I want to find out who earns the highest salary in the job current table. And then I want to find out the titles for all those jobs who earn that highest salary. There could be more than one. There could be only one. I don't know. I have no idea. So what is the highest salary from the job current table? Which jobs or job earns the highest salary? Also in the job current table. So where is the join? Nowhere. So can do it using join, right? So let's first find out what is the highest salary. And let's put it in. So select, remember how do we find out the highest salary? Do you remember? The max function. The name of the field for your information is salary. I don't have to do anything myself. There's a function called max. In advanced select, we did it. From which table? Job current table. And this is an independent subquery. It will work on its own. I don't know what is the maximum. I think it's 12,000. Yeah, there it is. Not 12,000, 120. 120K, right? That's the maximum. Now, what is your job? Which titles earn it? Computer programmer, web programmer, system analyst, system manager, DBA. Who earns it? We are just saying who earns it, which titles earn it. So let's do another select now. Which titles are earning this salary? So select the title. You could give the name also, doesn't really matter. I'm only interested in trying to find out what's out there, who's earning the maximum, so that I also go and do the same program, right? So my aim is who's earning, which titles are getting the most money. So select the title from the job current table. What was it called? Job current. Now, what do? I say where the salary of this record. Now, what should I do? Should I do an equal? Should I do an in? What is the result of this? A value or more than one values? Select a maximum of something. How many values will it return? 1. So when you are doing something with 1, you should be doing a equal. Though in will also work because a list can only have a value, right? But logically, if you think about it, the select maximum will return you a value. You want to compare with a value, you should be using an equal, not an in. But will in work? Yes, I'm saying is 20 in 20? Yes, it is. So is 20 equal to 20 is more logical question. Is 20 in 20 is a little kind of an incomplete question, but it will work too. But if you kind of think of it, this is what I should be using an equal, but in is not wrong because the set in which you are checking can only have a single value, and you're saying is 20 in that set, and that set only has a value. So in will also work. But if you think of it, I'm comparing a value with a value. So equal should work. Try in and it will work too. So here are titles. I don't know which titles earn 120K. Let's see. Only the system administrator has 120. Nobody else earns 120. Let's change it and see if the result is right. So job current table, job current, listings, current. Oh, there is only system administrator. Let's give this Unix system administrator also 120, please, just for the heck of it. I want to see if the query is right. It is right from the answer. There is only one person with 120K, but there was nobody else, so it only showed me one. We'll have to run the whole thing again because I changed this Unix system administrator data. Okay, now I must have two answers. There you are. Those were the two titles that earn 120K each. You want their names? Sure, but I mean, I'm only interested in titles. So it works. And as I said, the in will also work. So I'll leave it at 1100 just because I don't want to run it again. Try the in also now. Maybe it may give me a syntax error. It may say but it doesn't look like it should give me a syntax error because the in says I'm looking for this value in this list. It's not the other way around. I mean, you're not saying equal to a number of values. You know what I mean? If it was equal and you had a number of values in the list, then it would be wrong. But the max only returns a value. So in should also work. But be careful that you don't use in here. You don't use equal here if there are more than one values here. Then you can. Are you saying, are you equal to this, this, or this? Then you have to use an in. So logically it looks okay. Yeah, because there is one value here in this. So it's kind of same, but I won't use it. To me, this makes more sense. And logically, hopefully, it's making more sense to you. You have to be careful where to use in and where to use equal. And sometimes it will be fine. So in your list, there is a single value, and you want to check against a single value. Equal will do, and in will also work. Don't go the opposite. You're trying to say equal there, salary equal to, and then you have a list here which has so many values. How can you say equal to a set of values? So you have to be careful, and it will come up with errors saying single value cannot be. It will come up with something. Keep these things in your mind because they are important. When you see errors, you should know it. So I can't answer that using a join because there is no join of tables here, right? Though having said that, a table can be joined with itself. It's really silly, but I can show you. You'll see it somewhere. You will see it somewhere. I'm trying to do something. Okay, give me a minute. Table can be joined with itself, guys. There's nothing that stops you from joining a table with itself. Sometimes we need to, except that we'll have to give it two names. So this is job current. We'll call it JC1. And this is the same table. I will call it JC2. Okay, on what should I join? What should be my joining conditions of the current table? Only then you can join the table with itself. But what should I join it on? Join current. These are my current jobs. I'll still need a subquery. I still need to know the maximum. I still have to know the maximum. So it's kind of useless then. It's kind of useless. I still have to know I still need this for sure. Okay, so let's try. I mean, it's useless, but anyway. So where salary in or equal to I haven't yet completed, okay? I haven't yet completed it. I'm just thinking it out. Okay, now the one thing is on what should I join these tables? If I'm joining a table with itself and I'm interested in joining them, their titles could be same, their contacts IDs are also the same. So I can join it on anything basically. This is called a self join for your information. This is called a self join, okay? I mean, I could use a comma, nothing stops me. I was just trying to use the on word to make it more clear. This is called a self join so that I could write the on here, or I could write using here. Okay, now there are two tables. Whose salary am I interested in? You can pick up any, they are the same table. I know it's not very neat, but believe me, it should work. Okay, so join the two tables. Okay, let's do only this first, the select using contact ID. Okay. So see what has happened. Contact ID, title, salary has start date has joined with title, salary, and start date, and the contact ID is only coming once. Why is this only coming once? It should also come twice. They're the same table, right? For some, oh, because they have the same name, that's why. Okay, so I've joined, oh, and I'm using. Okay, so this is what is happening. They're being joined to each other where they are like same. So it's really silly. It's not a good solution. But now, and I'm saying the salary should be equal to the maximum salary. But it is useless if you kind of see. There was no need of it. When I can do it without a join, why would I join a table with itself? But this just brings you to something. We will do it someday again, and it would be more useful. This is called a self join. Joining to a table to itself. Sometimes you need to do it. You will need to do it. Right? So I'll leave it here, but this is a very inefficient solution. It is joining the table with itself and then picking. What was the sense of joining the table is the biggest question. It was not required. So joins were not required. So you know what? I don't want to keep it here. If somebody else, you read it or I read it, and the end, someday I'll say, what the hell am I doing here? If you want to keep it, I'll put it in comments for sure, but it's really stupid. I won't say stupid. It's not a good word to say. Really unnecessary. Shouldn't use words which I don't want you to use, right? That's a rule I make in my house. If I don't want my kids to say something, I don't say that. So I don't say, I'll just say really unnecessary to join the table. But it will work, like it is working, right? So instead of a star, what will you do? Title. You were only interested in titles. And it will work. I'll show you it works. I mean, oops. It will work. There's nothing wrong in it. No, there is something wrong in it. Is ambiguous? Oh, title is ambiguous because again, title is in both fields. Let's take it from JC1. Doesn't matter because it's the same table, but it is ambiguous. Thank God I kind of double checked it. Okay, there it is, system administrator, but it's really unnecessary to do a self join. This is called a self join for your information. So this is the only correct answer and the most efficient answer. Get the maximum, compare it with the salary. Okay, let's go to the next one. How many do we have? 6, 7. Oh God, who knows? Anyway, okay, slow and steady wins the race. Let's go to 4A. Who makes the most money out of all contacts? Definitely the one guy who's had 120K. Display their first and last name and their salary using join and subquery. Subquery can't show the salary workaround. Okay, so there are 3 ways. That means I've solved it 3 ways. Okay, now this join and subquery is an easy one. We already know who makes the most money. We want his name and their first name and their salary. Okay, so let's do it. Select the first name the last name and the salary of the person from the table my contacts. One job done. The first name, the last name, and the salary. Now of whom? Who makes the most money? Now there are two who's now. There is a system ad and a unique system ad. So who makes the most money out of all contacts and display the first and last? So I need the maximum salary. So we need this for sure. We need this. Who makes the maximum salary can only come from here. But now, this is the maximum salary, but these are the names, but who makes them is in the job current. See the combination? Okay, let me show you the diagram. I want the last name, the first name, and the salary. So the last name and the first name are coming from here, but where is the salary coming from? Here, job current, right? Sorry, job current, here. And the maximum salary is also coming from here. So I want to pick up the name of that person who makes the salary equal to the maximum salary. So definitely I need to join the tables. Okay, so which tables do I need to join? This table and the table job current. Because there is where the salary is coming from. Right? And on what condition do I want to join it? What is the condition? Where the contact, say using if you like, or with using we'll have to do inner join, which is okay. It's no big deal. Let's use using. Contact ID. So when I say using, I can't use the comma. I have to use inner join. Okay, so I've joined the two tables. The contacts table and the job current have been joined on contact ID. But I'm not interested in everybody. I'm only interested in where the salary of this person who I want to show is equal to the maximum salary from the job current table. Make sense? Name of the person from the my contacts table. Salary from the job current table. So those are the two tables I joined. Would have been good, but there was a further condition on it, that these people make the maximum salary. So find out the maximum salary first. So the maximum salary, I got it from the select. And then I said, you come if your salary is equal to the maximum salary. So therefore, this is using joins and a subquery. Then I'm saying I can do it only using a subquery, then, but I've said something can show salary, and I'll show you what the problem is if only a subquery. If I wasn't asking you the salary, then I could have done only subquery. We'll come to it. Let's try it. So 2 people, we know the answer is 2. So their name, I don't know, but definitely there are 2 people. So Jamie and Angelina are, I think, system administrators and the Unix administrators. Double check, please. Hopefully we are right. Who is the system administrator and who is this other guy or girl? 8 and 5. 5 and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jamie? Did we have Jamie? Oh, there it is. The answer is there. Jamie and 5 and 8. 6, 7, 8. Angelina. Yep, they're right. The answer is right. Now, I said, now, is there another way of doing it? I'm asking. But if you kind of think of it, I want the last name and the first name have to come from one table. Salary has to come from another table. And then I want to see that the salary is the maximum. What I've done here is I've said I can answer this using only a subquery, but the problem is this. The problem is I can't show the salary. And let me kind of copy it for you. If you were only interested in the name, then I could say select the name from this table where the contact ID of this person is equal to where the we'll think about equal and in a minute. Okay. Now here is a more than one table. Select contact ID from the table job current and I'll tell you a workaround also, but here, let me write it. So select those persons whose contact ID is equal to the contact ID of this person whose salary is equal to the maximum salary from the table. Now, think about it for a minute. We haven't yet finished. Why are we getting a squiggly is something else that I can understand. Oh, I know why. There's another select. There are two subqueries. But before I do it, before I execute it, I want your input. What is this value going to give you? One value, right? So if there is one value, I can do an equal. No big deal. Now, look at this equal. Do I need an equal or do I need an in? How many people earn the maximum salary? Do you have any idea? No. It could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 3. We have no idea. We by chance know there are 2 in our table. But when you answer a query, do you know how many people earn the maximum salary? No. It is a list. So if it is a list, what should you be using here? In. You shouldn't be using an equal. Right? Why am I using an equal here? Because I definitely know that this is a value. So when you want to compare with a value, equal is fine. Select all those people who earn the maximum salary. I don't know how many. Maybe it's only 1. But remember, we have 2 now. I don't know how many. So if I don't know this list how many, then if I want to find out their first name and last name, I have to use in here. I'll show you the equal and it will give me an error. Right? So not every time you will just put an equal and you'll get away with it, or put an in and get away with it. You have to think about it. So let's try to first do it the right way. Now, what is the disadvantage here? I don't know what the maximum salary is. I can't show it anywhere. Why? I can't show it here because this is only being drawn from my contacts. And if I can show it here, then I could in my first one because I joined the tables. But I can't show it here. I'll show you a workaround. But let's see if it works. There are 2 persons, okay? Jamie and Angelina. The answer is right. But I can show their salary. In the first one that I was doing, I was able to show their salary. So you will say, if the salary is not required, will this do? Of course, this will do. But now I'll tell you a workaround this. How will I work around? What will I do? Remember, I said you can always set a variable. You can always set a variable. Oh, let me show you something else. This will show you something that you will require in your assignment. You can put a select statement right here. This is also a subquery. You can take this statement and you can put it right here. All it is doing is selecting a value. Though it's very inefficient. With every time it will call that select. Every time it will call the select. It's very inefficient. To make it a little more efficient, I think this has to go in round brackets. Red squiggly gone. But you can put a select statement in your field list. This is an example of a subquery also, a query within a query. A more efficient way, this is highly inefficient. Why? Because you're making a call to repeated selects are being executed, right? But we learned another way. If you remember from last week or week after that, you can take a variable, you can use the set, you can say at, you can call it maximum salary, or the number of cookies kind of thing, right? And you can then put it here. You can take the select statement, put it in a variable. Oops. Put it in a variable. Here, put it in a variable. And now you can do the same thing here that I did here. And every time, what will you do? You will just put the word maximum salary here. Something is wrong with that add. Give me a minute. I don't know what. Oh, semicolon. No, still doesn't like it. Oh, what doesn't it like, guys?
2 brackets.
2 brackets. Thank you. Doesn't like 2 brackets. Okay. And I can put the maximum salary here. Here. So this is one way of doing it. This is an alternative, a workaround. Not a huge job, but one extra statement. I have to find the maximum salary and put it in a variable. So I've kind of created a constant, right? I've created a constant. This is another workaround, but the workaround is highly inefficient due to repeated selects are executed. Because every time when you do a select, this inner select is again executed. It's the same code. It's the same code. The difference is in the first one, I saved it in a variable, did it once, and then kept using it. But at least there's another thing that came to light here is you can have a select statement in the field list. If you kind of think of it, it's not a biggie. I'm saying select something, a field name from a table. So it's just a field name if you kind of think of it. It's not as if, oh, why, how can it happen? It's just a field name. But the problem with this one is not the problem. It's not a problem. It's the inefficiency. Every time when it tries to do and match and do whatever, it is going to execute that select statement because it wants to show that field. In the first one, I put it in a variable, and then all it does, it plugs it in. It's a constant, which is more efficient, right? And this is if you only want to use subqueries. If you can work with joins and subqueries with what we started, then of course, there's no problem at all. Only subquery was not showing me the salary. Cannot, because it's inside. There are 3 independent ones. I did a work around it and it will work. All these 4 should give me the same answer. And just because I'm lazy, I'm just going to run the whole script. Okay, something is selected, so it won't run the whole script. Which query is it completing? Is it something is selected? Why isn't it running the whole script? Okay, now. And my last 4 answers should be the same because I just did them in 4 different ways, right? So having said that, okay, so that's 1, Jamie and whoever, Angelina, Jamie and Angelina. This one is not showing the salary. We couldn't show the salary when we, in my subquery. And Jamie and Angelina. So again, you saw a few new things. The set you've already done. You've used a variable before. But I also showed you that you can use a select statement in the field list. You can. It is an example of a subquery within a query. It is. So if I ask you a question and I say I need to see a subquery and a join, that counts as a subquery. When you write it in a field list, that counts as a subquery. I think somewhere in the assignments you will get it, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, list the names of all employees with the salary greater than the average salary. Not a big deal. Find the average salary like I did for the maximum. I want their names with the salary greater than the average salary. So very similar. There I was saying people who have the maximum salary, therefore it's in 4B. I think I'm just trying to do the average function again. So if I kind of take this, names of all employees. So if I take the first one that I had written, just this one, everything will work. If I take the first one only, and I put it here, and what do I have to do? The salary is greater than the average salary of all the employees. Just their name. List the names of all employees. Only the name was asked. I mean, there's nothing wrong in showing the salary because, I mean, that will prove our answer, but I don't know what the average salary is, assuming the average salary will be less than the salary. But there it is. Oh, it now says show the average salary and the salary. Oops, okay. So it wasn't asked here, so I won't put it here. We'll check the answer first. I'm not sure if it is right. How will we check? Okay, let's find out what the salary is first. Average salary. Okay, 91875. Okay, everybody who's earning more than 91875. Yep, 91875. We are okay. Answer is right. Now, I don't know why I made a 2 of it. Like I only said list the names. So maybe I'll remove the name here. And we'll, oh, why did I do that before copying and pasting? And it says also show the average salary. So to show the average salary, we will have to do the set command again. I'm hoping that's what I'm asking. Give me a minute, guys, unless my question is different from. No, it's okay. It's fine. Maybe I just wanted to show the set again or whatever. Let's take that average salary. Let's set it to this. Why am I doing it? Because I want to show it here. Oh, and let's also do that. Round it, because usually salaries will have any number of whatever places of decimal and then it will look odd. So there are 2 ways of doing it. I think we did the round one. Let's round it. Let's see if we can do it right here. Remember, one was round, one was casting. Round to 2 places. Okay, so we have it. Oh, red squiggly. The select statement. Oh, I know why. Okay, wait. The round has 2 of them. So wait a minute. So that's the first one. Oh, the comma has to come afterwards. That's the second parameter, and that's the round. Okay, there it is. Round has 2 parameters. One, the select statement. The select statement has to be put in curly bracket. Oh, sorry, round brackets. Syntax. It was a syntax requirement. Okay, and now I just want to show it. So let's show it here. Right, so I found the average salary. I rounded it to 2 places of decimal to make it look neat. Then everybody who has a salary more than the average salary, I did it. This way I can be sure that my answer is right. Now, I'm only showing you 4B in one way. All that you've done in 4A can be done in 4B also, using only a subquery or whatever, right? Like, I think we can now say, oh, you know how to do it. Let's do this. And let's double check our answers. Oh, forgot to give a name. See how untidy it is? It says at average salary. Okay, so 11, 110K, 120K, 120K, and 987. Now, the only thing is you're seeing it 3 times, but I mean, I can only display it once. I can say select and it will only show it once. But if I want to show it in the same table, that's what it is. So what's looking untidy is this. Please give it a name. Any computed field, if you use it, should be given a name. Which means, did I do that before also? Yeah, here also. Please say as salary here also. Anywhere you do something with a variable name or a computation or a select statement, you should be giving it name. We should be giving it here also. But here it was called salary, so it was okay. I didn't pay attention to the other one, but now as I did this, so now this was the heading. Notice it looks very untidy, at average salary. Now if you say average salary with it, it will say average salary, which looks neater. So we forgot to do that when we did this, when we were showing the salary. Here also, please call it salary. Oh, is it the maximum salary? Oh, no, but for us, it is salary. Okay, there. So again, it can be done in different ways. As I said, it can be. It's just that before that, we did it with the total. And so I can kind of leave it here. Guys, you have 7 minutes. Don't pack your bags. Okay. List everyone who lives in the same. How many do I have? Oh, we won't be able to finish it. Okay. The more the better. List everyone who lives in the same zip code as the person with the highest current salary. Okay. Now look at the question. What is the maximum salary? Who earns it? What is his or her zip area? And who other people live in the same zip area? Right? So first think of what has to be done. You can jot down This is what I need to do. So let's do it step by step. So who earns the highest salary? We already know. So we know it from here. Okay, this person earns the highest salary. Not this person. This is the highest salary, right? Now I want to find out the zip for this person. Where does he live? Now again, where does he live or where do they live? Because there is more than one person, okay? And then everyone who lives in the same zip code as the person with the highest current salary. So find out the current salary, the maximum current salary. More than one people may have the most current salary. Find out their zips. And then from those zips, everybody else who lives. Okay, so what do we have to do? Step number 2. We want to select the zip of all those people from the table, my contacts. But that will not only do, because we have to also know that the salary is the maximum. Oops, okay. So we have to do an inner join. Or just let's use comma. With which table? The job current table. Okay. How are we going to join these tables? We are going to join these tables where? I've used the comma, so I'm just giving you a different form, nothing else. Where the table my contacts is wrong. There you go. MC. MC. Oh. Job current JC. Where MC dot whatever is equal to JC dot contact ID. Contact ID. There, and the salary is the same, okay, and salary is equal to this guy. Okay, so let's stop this here. Now, everybody else who lives in the same zip. So now select, let's do a star, everybody who lives the same. Or if you only are interested in name, the first name, whatever. First name and the last name of everybody who lives, and show the zip also. Then we will know, oh, our answers are right. From the table my contacts. Now what? First name, last name, and zip. Where this person's zip code is same as, oh, not equal. It could be more than one. In here and here. Okay, so step by one. Let's do it one by one. This person has the maximum salary. This is the maximum salary. Here are the zips or the zip of the person with the maximum salary. I don't know how many people earn it. We know 2 people earn it. So there should be 2 zips. Okay, so we do a select zip here. So if you want, you see here one by one. Let's do it one by one. What is the maximum salary? We already know 120K. Who earns it? Where do they live? What are their zips? Okay, keep that in mind. 55, 467. We have 2 answers because there were 2 people. They just live in 2 different areas. They could have lived in the same area. And 77, 567. Okay, so here are the zips of the 2 people earning the maximum. And then now I am saying, give me the first name and the zip of everybody who lives in the same area. Make sense? Okay, let's try it. I don't know who else lives in the same area. Okay, here they are. So the 2 guys who were earning the maximum were Jamie and Angelina. Jamie was 55467. Angelina was 77567. There are 2 other persons who live in the same area as Jamie. Nobody is in the same area as Angelina, which is okay. But the answer is right. Thank you. It takes quite a while. Anyway, right? So basically a select, another select, and then another select. So whenever you have a question, break it up. I want the maximum salary. Then I want who earns it. There's it. And then I want all who live in the same. There is no relationship, you will say, but you just say, what, you know what? We live in Barrie, somebody earns more, oh, and they are a system administrator, I earn less, I want to be a system administrator. You know what I mean? That kind of question can be answered with this. So we'll stop here. We won't go to 6 and 7. We'll do it next time. I know you won't let me do it, but I'm tired too. I'm done. It takes as brain work as yours when I do it, because it's just doing it on the go. Okay, so we'll do this and we'll continue to do more next week. And I have to do some work on Friday for another section. But I'll try my best to put up your assignment. Okay, so that at least you can start working on it. You may not finish it, but you can start working on it. And this is week 10. 10 will finish. I'll give you 11 and 12 for it. Okay, that way I can mark it before your final exam. Okay, I'll put this on Blackboard, but this is incomplete. We'll complete it next week. If you need it to put on Blackboard, I will. If not, that's fine too. So we are in week 10. Oh. Guys, here's your grade book. I see the same thing that you see, all empty. But it's not going anywhere, don't worry. I have it. But this is what I see, therefore you don't see anything. It will come, don't worry.
No, see, my mark is wrong.
Yeah. I have it, don't worry. I really mean it. If I wasn't, I would have been in hospital by now.